Hey there, folks. Welcome to the channel where we take a hilarious spin on history. Get ready for a wild ride as we delve into the absolute worst year in the history of humankind. Now, when you think about it, there have been some pretty rough patches throughout history. Some might argue that 2020 takes the cake with its pandemic-induced chaos. But wait, history buffs will chime in and say, "Hold my plague, Dr. Mask," because they'll mention 1347 and the infamous bubonic plague. Yikes! But guess what, my friends? The historians have spoken, and they say the crown for the absolute worst year goes to, drumroll, 536 AD. Oh boy, let me set the stage for you. Imagine waking up to a gloomy, chilly morning, and that's been going on for 547 consecutive days. I mean, talk about a serious case of the Monday blues. Just a year and a half ago, you were a hardworking farmer, gearing up for a bountiful harvest, but then, bam, the sky turned into the world's gloomiest Instagram filter. 536 AD was the year that decided to give humanity a real challenge. Picture this: spring turned into summer, autumn turned into a sunless winter, and it felt like someone hit the dimmer switch on the sun. It was like a cosmic power outage, leaving people squinting, gasping for air, and losing their crops faster than you can say sunscreen. It was a total nightmare. Now, folks, I know it sounds like a plot from a Hollywood disaster movie, but this was the real deal. Millions of people lived through this dark era, and some historians even claim it was the absolute worst year in the history of humankind. Can you imagine the memes they would have had back then? And in that year, the greatest miracle occurred. The sun emitted light like the moon, without rays, as if it had lost its power, no longer shining pure and bright as before. Since that time, there was no end to the wars, the plague, or any other calamity bringing death among the people. This was during the 10th year of the reign of Justinian, described Procopius, the eminent scholar who became the leading Byzantine historian of the 6th century, in his work, History of the Wars. So, let's take a moment to appreciate the fact that we have electricity, pizza delivery, and sunbeams to brighten our days. Sure, life can be tough, but at least we don't have to worry about the sun taking a vacation on us. After approximately 1,500 years, the esteemed historian Michael McCormick from Harvard University came to an equally grim conclusion not only about the year 536, but also the terrifying decade that followed it. Picture this. In the spring of 536, an eruption in Iceland unleashed chaos, and I'm not talking about the eruption of a volcano alone, my friends. This was the grand entrance of the late antique mini ice age. Oh, Mother Nature, you never fail to surprise us with your fashion choices. These volcanic aerosols created by the colossal eruptions decided to place sunblock on a whole new level, blocking the sunlight and giving Earth a little makeover. The year 536 and its icy aftermath were so intense that even snowmen were like, "Whoa, chill out!" Imagine waking up to a frosty morning, only to realize that it's been winter for over a year. Snowball fights turned into full-blown battles, and sledding became the official mode of transportation. Forget about summer vacations. It was all about perfecting your snow angel technique. I mean, seriously, it was colder than Elsa's ice palace up in there. We're talking a mind-numbing 2.7 to 4.5 degrees Fahrenheit drop, all thanks to the volcanic haze that lingered in the air. The sky remained dim for a whopping 18 months, leaving us all longing for a good dose of vitamin D. Let's just say it was the year when tanning salons saw a dramatic decrease in business. And let's not forget the fashion trends of that time. Winter wear was the hottest trend, quite literally. People were rocking their fur coats, thick scarves, and mittens like never before. Who needs a summer bikini when you can rock a parka, am I right? The sun-blocking extravaganza had some serious repercussions on the weather. China experienced summer snowfalls, and the temperatures hit a record low that hadn't been seen in over 2,300 years. Talk about a winter wonderland in July! Meanwhile, in the Middle East, China, and Europe, dense fog became the daily nightmare, making it feel like humanity was living in a perpetual haunted house. And just when you thought things couldn't get worse, Ireland had a major bread crisis. Yep, Those Gaelic Irish annals mentioned a severe bread shortage from 536 to 539. Can you imagine? People had to resort to breadless sandwiches and croutonless salads. The horror? But hey, it wasn't all bad. The bright side of the dark year was that people finally had an excuse for being late. Sorry, boss, I couldn't make it to work on time. My chariot got stuck in the snowdrifts. And think about the epic ice sculptures that must have adorned every town square. That's some next-level artistic expression right there. So, my friends, if you think your year has been tough, just remember that there was a time when the sun decided to take a vacation, and it got so cold that even penguins were like, nah, that's too chilly for us. Let's be grateful for the fact that we don't have to wear mittens in July. All right, folks. We've got some seriously cool scientists in the house ready to tackle the icy mysteries of the infamous year 536 AD. Get ready for chills and a frozen fun. Meet the brainiacs behind the Historical Ice Core Project, Professor Michael McCormick and Professor Paul Majewski. These guys were like the Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson of the ice world, donning their lab coats and armed with magnifying glasses to solve the frosty puzzle that was 536 AD. Talk about a brain freeze extravaganza. Their mission was to extract frozen secrets from the ancient ice cores of Iceland, like ancient ice detectives on a mission to crack the icy case. They analyzed the frozen evidence like it was a cold case that needed solving. And what did they uncover? Brace yourselves! Turns out the eruption of the Icelandic volcano was like the ultimate pyrotechnic show, playing with the sun like it was its own personal disco ball. The sun was like, "Hey, volcano, you're blocking my rays." And the volcano was like, "Sorry, Mr. Sun, just wanted to add some drama to the world." It was a cosmic battle of light and darkness, and Mother Nature was the ultimate DJ. But the fun didn't stop there. The aftermath of the volcanic shenanigans brought about a serious case of the deep freeze. It was like winter decided to extend its stay indefinitely, and people were left scratching their heads, wondering if they accidentally stumbled into Narnia. As if that wasn't enough, the bubonic plague decided to join the party, making it a triple threat of historical chaos. Although the outbreak of the bubonic plague in the 6th century may be less remembered than its reappearance in the 14th century, famously known as the Black Death, the 6th century pandemic still caused the destruction of at least a third of the population of the Eastern Roman Empire, leading to its collapse. Referred to as the Justinian plague, this disease spread throughout Roman Egypt and then infected the rest of the world over the following 200 years. According to the scientist, ancient DNA has shown that the causative agent of the disease was the bubonic plague, a disease carried by rats and other rodents, which jumped to humans. Scientists believe that after the climate-altering volcanic eruptions and the grim year of 536, the situation was tragically favorable for the plague to sow chaos. It is highly likely that the food shortage caused by the sudden cooling in many parts of Eurasia weakened the population's immunity and made them more susceptible to the pathogen. And hunger almost certainly led to mass migrations of people who carried the disease further. Alrighty then, time to wrap up this chilly tale. So picture this. A dust curtain descends, blocking the normal levels of sunshine and throwing a major shade on humanity's farming game. Yeah, Mother Nature was like, "Oops, time for some light deprivation, folks." And guess what? It didn't just mess with our tans, it messed with our food supply too. And suddenly famine decided to crash the party like an uninvited guest. Talk about bad timing. It was like the hunger pangs synchronized their watches and went, "All right, folks, let's hit them all at once." People had a serious vitamin D deficiency thanks to the prolonged sun-blocking action. The lack of vitamin D didn't just mess with their health, it messed with their quality of life too. But hey, despite the dramatic change that occurred overnight, let's give props to the ancient eyewitnesses. They weren't just a bunch of doomsday fanatics. 536 AD was truly a rough ride for humanity. Remember, folks, history may have its gloomy chapters, but humor and resilience are the secret weapons that keep us going. So keep laughing, and let's conquer the twists and turns of history together. your lighthearted historian. Bye.